walking around in day and night miracles and got mentally kaput. He had to go and recharge and rest. And we, the survivors, our grandchildren, our children, or maybe ourselves for that matter, we got to have that opportunity to rest too. I urge many people, I urge all that will listen, that one thing, study the Word of the Creator, the Bible. That is the most important thing in the world. Read it. Never mind what people have said about it. This is a thing between you and the Creator, and like I said, I'll teach you power of reading. And 2, spend time learning how to survive, how to make a mud hut, how to make a trench and hide into it. Look at all the ancient ways, not 100 years ago. That's not ancient enough. But 300, 200 years ago, how the ancient Eskimos made their house. Maybe you don't have ice to make their house, but you have the design and you can improvise with sticks and dirt and mud and anything. Their houses were made for the harshest environment and hidden. And how the in Tanganyika, in all that great heat, how they go underground. Study the ancient of ways. How to nap a knife out of one rock against the other. You don't have to be really great at it. All you got to do is be able to realize one rock hitting another rock will make a sharp edge, and that's good enough to cut a tree down if you need it. Just really super simple basics that people don't know. Almost, with the exception of, these guys that go out and do frontier stuff and things, basically, most people, hunters and stuff like that, they get out there, they're roughing it, and they got their nice case knife with them, they got their hatchet with them and all that jazz. And my gosh, what are they going to do without it? Learn how to use something without it. Learn the very fact that you can scorch a split tree limb, scorch it to harden it and make a good knife or spear point out of that alone. Learn how to take a certain type, a little bent stick and use it to kill birds and rabbits and things like that. Use how to take one stick or three or even more on how to set up little dinky traps, little snares. Listen, I know there's a lot of people out there saying, I can't do that. I won't do that. They got pretty eyes. I don't give a damn. You can look at their eyes as you're dying and say, see, thanks to me, you're alive. It ain't going to work. If you're laying there dying and that little rodent comes at you and looking at you square in the eyes with those pretty little eyes, and it's a rat, and you got the strength, you're going to do everything you can to grab that rat and eat it alive. It just, when I say survival, I'm talking about hardcore survival. And there's people in our Indian nations are full of it. I know this herb, I know what that can do, and this can do, and this can do. They're not going to be there. Know what licking a wound can do with your own saliva.
Right. Yeah.
Know what manure can do from your own body. Know what urine can do, how drinkable it is to make you survive.
You better believe it.
I'm talking raw survival. And that's what our future people need to know. And right now is a wonderful time to start getting those raw survival things into your brains and then passing it on to children and others, because they're going to need that after the earth rolls. They're going to need it in the hunting time, the running time, and those that aren't hunting, the runners, are going to need to know a lot of it, because they're caught in the same kind of trap. Hardly a lick of water, and everything's dead. Is it really dead? Do you know what part of what tree that's dead that you can eat? Do you know how far down you must go and where to go for an earthworm to eat? Do you know how to pray over a tiny puddle of water filled with cow dew and drink? I'm talking pure survival. Do you know how to pray when you're sick to be healed? No. No, you're going to drink out, a half inch above that cow poop, and because you're so stupid you didn't know how to purify the water, then you're going to be laying on your belly in cramps and pains and parasites. And you don't know how to take care of that. And why should you take care of that if you just knew how to do the purification? Man, when I talk survival, I'm talking, well, my brother, all right? He's for a few years he was head of Boy Scout troops. And he'd go out he'd go out on a Saturday morning, spend Sunday night, and come out Sunday towards the afternoon with a bunch of boys. And talking on the phone and how proud he was, his pack weighed 73 or 6 pounds. And look at you women. Look at you women. My wife is terrible. She's going to go overnight, and I swear to God she's going for half a year. And well, Jim and I, my brother and I talking, he's telling me he's got this and that and that and that, and I said, well, gee, Jim, I just came back from a 4 or 5 day trip into the wilderness, and I really feel sorry for you. And he's, what do you mean? I said, well, yeah, this and this and this and this and this and this. Well, what did you take? I said, I took some water, a knife, a book, pen, pencil, and a blanket. Well, what about your food? I said, I know how to get the food. Well, what about, if it rains? I know how to make a cover. Right. Nature at this time provides everything. Jim's out there, proud of himself that he's got all this good stuff, and at the same time breaking his back carrying it for a one-nighter. A one-nighter. And frankly, there was nothing. I don't need anything. I could walk out nude, totally nude. I prefer shoes because, I stick on, like any white man, I haven't got callous feet. But I would prefer shoes. I'm not talking moccasins, they're too thin. But something with a good bottom, and totally nude from there on up. Totally. No knife, no nothing. And I can make it. I might come back thinner, but I'm coming back alive. And I got my back is in better shape than anybody else, and I've been out a lot longer. And I can come back dressed. And I can come back carrying food. Nature's there right now. Mm-hmm. But it is going to be there now, like it is now, in a very, very short time. Can you survive when it isn't there? Yes. How? You better figure out how.
Now, let me ask you, why would we want to do that?
Why would you what?
Why would we want to do that?
Why would you want to survive?
Why would we want to survive in such a miserable world?
Why would you want to go out and be eaten alive? The only other two choices are joining the black or committing suicide. Right? Now, committing suicide is not a happy camper thing to do in the sight of the Creator. It does not send you to hell. But you could have gone a lot better than you went. But at the same time, why not learn how much God loves you by going through it and learning to trust Him? Watch the miracles He performs on your behalf when you're starving to death, when you're dying of dehydration. Why not learn to get closer to Pop? I mean, it's your choice. But I tell you, a lot of people are going to, everybody's going to be given the same identical choice, everybody after the false rapture. And there will be those that can't take it, don't want to join